In episode 13, D-Man flew to a mysterious Earth-looking planet, which is where he felt the strong Zoe ki and the dropping life force of an unknown being. The heroic gangster flew to their location, wasting no time at all because he was under the impression that the unknown Zoe was executing someone. D-Man arrived at the scene and saw a female Zoe sitting on a solid gold throne that was being carried by 4 aliens of the same species. Members of their alien race were unclothed and covered in brown or black fur, but their faces were hairless with blue skin and feline/wolf-like facial features and ears, while most of them were strong and fit. However, these furry beings were only multi-city busters, but they were still very powerful compared to a human. One of the 4 male aliens was severely injured with a gaping hole in his abdomen as he left a trail of purple blood behind while he helped carry the solid gold throne of the female Zoe. The furry injured alien was responsible for having the dropping life force that D-Man sensed, which explained why the brown Sasquatch-like creature was having difficulties lifting the golden chair. However, all 4 of the furry aliens were struggling to carry the large throne because it was made entirely out of solid gold added by the female Zoe's weight and the gravity of the planet, which was 5 times that of Earth's own. "Empress Sinbun, can we please stop carrying you to rest?" begged one of the 4 furry aliens, feeling like his arms and back were on the verge of breaking. "No resting!" shouted the female Zoe furiously before striking her servant across the back with a long whip that she held, causing a cry of agony from the poor furry alien. She then smiled and cheerfully said, "Besides, my palace is only 300 miles away." Sinbun was stronger than Pankyuk, who was the strongest Zoe D-Man had fought so far. "Faster, slaves!" she ordered, mercilessly whipping her furry servants so hard that they each screamed to the top of their lungs in great pain while continuing to carry the throne she sat on. D-Man moved to attack the female Zoe, but he stopped when her wrist device generated a computer voice that said, "New communication request from Lord Tosat. Would you like to accept or decline this request?" Sinbun furrowed her brow with confusion and said, "Lord Tosat," taking the words right out of D-Man's mouth. "Ain't that the fast Zoe dude I just beat up?" he thought with realization. "I accept the request," Sinbun then said to her wrist device with curiosity before saying, "Stop right here," to her furry servants. The 4 furry aliens came to a halt, still holding up the large golden throne that the purple female sat on, while her wrist device projected a hologram of Tosat standing in front of her. D-Man was baffled. "Who are you?" demanded Sinbun, not knowing who the Zoe man in the hologram was. "Wow, these communication requests never tell us who we are being contacted by," responded Tosat flatly. "You know exactly what I meant, you sarcastic fuck," snapped Sinbun with agitation before saying, "We have never met before, let alone ruled together, so what is your reasons for contacting me, Tosat?" The Zoe speedster immediately brought up his hands in defense and said, all right, geez, calm your tits, and allow me to explain. I am contacting you to inform you of the dangers you have nearing your empire. I have just finished fighting the Zoe threat, and now he's heading straight for you." However, despite Tosat's dreadful warning about D-Man, Sinbun was filled with joy. "Oh, this is just wonderful! The so-called Zoe threat is approaching my fabulous empire," she beamed. "But little does the peasant know, the minute he steps foot on my planet, he's Zoe food. And after his slow and excruciating death, I'll use his fragile bones to make a lovely necklace for myself, and substitute my bathwater with his blood," she then said with so much anger and bloodlust that she clenched her fist hard enough for her nails to dig into her purple skin, causing strings of blue blood to trickle down her palm. Her furry alien servants couldn't help but tremble in fear, making her golden throne shake constantly as they continued to hold it up. D-Man was glad that he was far stronger than the deadly Zoe woman because even he felt a little uneased by her threat. Didn't need to hear all of that," responded a creeped-out Tosat before Sinbun let out a startled gasp when she felt D-Man's key on the planet, and to make matters even more worse, he was nearby. "What's wrong?" Tosat then asked, noticing the look on her face. I have to go," she told him before urgently ending their communication by pressing one of the buttons on her wrist device, which made the hologram of the Zoe speedster disappear. "Set me down, slaves. I have a little disturbance to handle," she then said. The four furry aliens gladly dropped Sinbun's throne on the ground with sighs of relief before she stood up, revealing her full height. Sinbun looked around and said, "There's no need to hide any longer. Zoe Threat, I am well aware of your presence on my planet." D-Man's eyes widened, and he thought to himself, "Oh shit, she know I'm here." Sinbun smiled with amusement as if she could read his mind. Come out, wherever you are," she cheerfully singed. "Unless you want me to blow this freaking planet up with you on it," she then angrily said. Horror consumed D-Man and the furry aliens while Sinbun started laughing hysterically while slowly raising her purple hand, which glowed blue with destructive energy. "Oh hell nah, this bitch is nuts," realized D-Man before yelling. Chill out. I'm up here. Damn." With that being said, Sinbun stopped laughing and glanced up at D-Man. "Look who we have here." "Say, aren't you a little too young to be a threat to all Zoes?" she pointed out. "Ain't they a little too weak to be carrying yo heavy-ass throne around?" D-Man also pointed out. Sinbun narrowed her eyes and said, "Touché," while D-Man landed in front of her, standing 10 feet away. "So you must be one of the Zoes that caused slavery, genocides, and wars in this galaxy," assumed D-Man with a glare. The female tyrant started clapping with a big smile to show that his assumptions were true. "Bravo, Zoe Threat. Apparently, you're not as stupid as you look." D-Man snarled at her with hatred and said, "I ain't about to let yo pencil eraser head ass get away with all the evil shit you did, and that's on my mama." Sinbun became very livid and said, "I will make you burn in hell from a torturous death for opposing me, child." With that being said, a battle between D-Man and Lord Sinbun commenced. "This shit continues.